Bronx boy Saquon Barkley was right. Never bet against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. The young New York Giants star and myself picked the 43-year-old quarterback in the Super Bowl this past Sunday. I was right about Tampa besting Kansas City. I was even right about how many points the Buccaneers would score and who the big game MVP would be. The only part of the story that I didn't have right was how many the high-powered Chiefs and QB Patrick Mahomes would muster and looking to repeat as champs. More on that later. Final score in the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay 31, KC 9, 201 yards and 3 touchdowns for Brady. The GOAT secures his 5th Super Bowl MVP award and 7th ring, more than any NFL franchise. Here's the oldest quarterback in Super Bowl history.
It's been an amazing year. Amazing year. We got off to a good start, 7-2, and then had a little rough stretch where we kind of found our identity and played a lot better football down last December, January. And just really proud of all the guys, proud of all the coaches, the effort we put in. We knew we were playing a great football team tonight, and we got the job done.
Here's the oldest winning coach in NFL history, 68-year-old Bruce Arians.
Hell no, I ain't going anywhere. I'm coming back, try to get 2. And then we'll see after that. But no, this football team, I love these guys. And we have a great staff, great team. Hopefully Jason and I can get together and keep most of them and try to repeat.
The Chiefs failed to score a touchdown. For Mahomes, that's a first in his pro career. It's also a first for the Chiefs since they lost to the G-Men all the way back in 2017. Here's Mahomes on what he calls his worst performance ever.
Obviously, I didn't play the way I wanted to play, but I mean, what else can you say? All you can do is leave everything you have on the field, and I feel like the guys did that. They were the better team today. They beat us pretty good. The worst I think I've been beaten in a long time. But I'm proud of the guys and how they fought to the very end of the game.
Now, some of the credit, of course, should go to that outstanding Tampa Bay defense. It was led by former Jets head coach Todd Bowles, now the defensive coordinator for a squad that includes former Big Blue Super Bowl champion Jason Pierre-Paul. Here's Todd Bowles on stopping Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Well, the biggest thing was to cover up the receivers and make them hold the ball a little bit so our rush could get there. And I think mixing up the coverages and moving some guys around and making them think a little bit and take away his first read allowed those guys to get off up front and covering the guys in the back.
From the Super Bowl to the Super Bowl of racing, the Daytona 500 is this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on Fox. We caught up with several of the drivers during Speed Week.
You got to be good all year long. There's the opportunity that you can get through the playoffs, even if you don't have many playoff points, but you don't leave yourself any, cushion to fall back on if you don't run well.
We saw how Super Bowls can go to underdogs. This race this Sunday is no different. A serious contender among those underdogs is Timmy Hill, who was the most active driver across the 3 national series in 2020.
What has been the biggest thing that you've learned from a busy 2020 and actively racing in the 3 national series? And then does this perhaps make you less of an underdog in the Daytona 500?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year I ran 75 races between Cup, Xfinity, and trucks. And I tell you what, it was exhausting, but it was rewarding. I'm glad I did it because I learned so much. I mean, there are some races that were just pretty doggone difficult to be a part of, and some were really good races. I've had all the above. So with that being said, experience is something that you can't take for granted.
Shout out to the underdogs and the old guys this week. Also a big hand for those that are extending helping hands in sports today. Yankees Luke Voit and Gio Urshela and Met Michael Conforto were among those honored at the 41st Annual Thurman Munson Awards on Tuesday, February 2nd. The awards dinner benefits BxRx New York City Foundation, which assists children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and pays homage to the late, great Yankees catcher and captain. Here's more with Luke Voit.
It's a big honor. I really appreciate it. And I know it's gone on, a long time, 30 plus years with doing this and, giving these awards out. So it's awesome. And it even means a lot that you're partnering with BxRC this year too, because, my little sister has disabilities too. And, to have the resources they do and to how they've helped so many people, with disabilities and intellectual disabilities as well, to what they've done for our society and, in the community, especially in the 5 boroughs up in the city. It's been great. So that's what makes this award even more in my heart too. So I really appreciate it.
The Met star was equally humbled and excited to get back to work in 2021.
We have the talent. We just need to put it all together. And, I think we've added some great pieces. I think we've added some great team personalities who are all pulling in the same direction. And I'm extremely excited to get to know these guys a little bit better. I've admired them from afar, but I think we all understand that, the New York Mets, people are talking about them, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything if we go out there and we lose, more games that we win than we win.
From one feel-good story to another, Jamie Freeman always wanted to play sports but couldn't because of his battle with cerebral palsy. But he felt a part of the Greenwood High School Bulldogs football team in Arkansas after the athletes awarded him a championship ring this past week. The 35-year-old has worked as the team's janitor since 2019 and says he wanted to play anything that he could growing up. But because of his disability, he was unable to play team sports. Freeman says he has suffered from cerebral palsy ever since birth. According to the CDC, cerebral palsy is a group of brain disorders that affects a person's ability to balance and move. Freeman added that the gesture says a lot about the boys and their character. Moral of the story, being a fan and supporter plays a big role in being a champion too. In the NBA, the Knicks are trying to remake their roster into a championship contender. The Orange and Blue reached an agreement on a trade to acquire Detroit Pistons guard Derrick Rose and reunite him with coach Tom Thibodeau. The Knicks send guard Dennis Smith Jr. and a 2021 second-round draft pick via the Charlotte Hornets to Detroit. Rose rejoins the Knicks, where he spent a turbulent 2016-17 season. This time, though, the Knicks are undergoing a competitive uptick under Thibodeau in his first season as the new leading man here in New York. He previously coached Rose in Chicago and Minnesota. Rose won league MVP honors with him during his days with the Bulls. And on a final sports roundup note, we dedicate this roundup to the memory of Pedro Gomez, an ESPN reporter since 2003 and one of the country's foremost baseball journalists. He died unexpectedly on Super Bowl Sunday. He was 58. Gomez covered baseball for SportsCenter and Baseball Tonight and other ESPN studio shows, live events, and radio. During his 35-year career, he covered more than 25 World Series and more than 20 All-Star games. A true gentleman in the press box. He will be dearly missed. Those are the headlines. We move to the C-list for another somber topic that appears, though, to be heading in the right direction, thanks to a place right here in the Bronx that has provided so many good memories for all of us. The city's newest mass vaccination hub is officially up and running at the big ballpark in the Bronx. Yes, Yankee Stadium. The site is open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., but it's only for Bronx residents who are eligible to get the shot. The goal is to address the high COVID-19 positivity rate right here in the Bronx, as well as the racial disparities in the city's vaccine rollout. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo noted, open quote, "It's abundantly clear that Black, Latino, and poor communities have been hit the hardest by COVID, and the Bronx is no exception. Our efforts to target vaccinations by locations with higher positivity rates have been working to not only keep the infection rate down, but to help ensure equity in our vaccine distribution process, and opening a mass vaccination site at Yankee Stadium, the Bronx's most iconic landmark, is the perfect solution to helping this borough get vaccinated and defeat COVID once and for all." Close quote. Here's more from the Yankees.
Since the spring and the beginning of the COVID pandemic, we've been looking to establish incredible partnerships so we can address the needs in our community. It has been seamless working with the governor's office, the mayor's office, SOMOS, and the National Guard to get this done here today. And with that partnership, we are confident and hopeful we will move the needle and make a difference and address the concerns in our community at this time.
Citi Field and the Mets also followed suit this week, opening their doors to Queens residents. Check out all of the details right here on the screen for more information. Onward and upward. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.